G'day guys, Ricky Muir from Centre Life Adventure again. Today I'm out doing a little bit of prospecting. I have come as far as what I am willing to go in the car. The track gets a little bit sketchy down in this creek. I actually had to winch a little bit further up, so it's time to do it by foot. I'm going up the creek here a couple of 100 metres. However, just in behind me, there's some juicy looking crevices. And I have my pan and metal detector with me, so I'm going to run a bit of a test pan in the creek to see if I can find any shiny stuff. So I didn't have any luck on the outside corner where I was just trying to pump out some crevices. So I went across to the inside flow of the creek, just in some loose sand and rock, and gave that one quick test pan. And if the camera would focus, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's a 7th one hiding in there somewhere up there. 7 little specks. Nowhere near big enough to be pickers, but anyway, I'll suck them up and give it another go. Okay. They're very small, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 specks there. Very blurry too, because they're very, very fine. The camera's struggling to pick up on them. And I've only been getting that out of here, so I think I need to find a crevice in this creek on an inside bend and see how it goes. Okay, so I've given up on the panning idea for the minute. I've done 5 test pans and got specks of gold, between 5 and 7 specks of gold per pan, but they're only specks. There was no pickers or anything like that. So I think it's not a bad idea to come back here with a high banker and give it a real red hot crack and move some good dirt. But I actually have borrowed a mate's SDC 2300, and the whole point of this trip was to go and explore some old diggings a bit further up the creek. So that's what I'm doing now. So I've got where I wanted to go, and I've been going over some old gold workings. Not that you'd be able to tell much from the camera, but there's a mound on the ground there. That's all dirt that would have been pulled out of here, and there's multiple of them right through the area. I was swinging the detector around, not having any luck at all. Found a few bits of metal, no gold. The fact that I was getting little bits and pieces of metal out made me think this area hasn't been overly done by detectorists in the past, but I was getting pretty cranky, about to give up. And then just here, as I was heading back towards where my backpack is, I got a signal, not gold, but it is an old button. I can't quite make out what it says yet, but I'll clean it up a little bit and then, yeah, see if I can get an ID on it. So rather than just give up, I might keep playing around in this area for a little bit longer. Okay, things are getting interesting. That's the hole I just got the button out of. I moved the whole of that far and pulled out a nail. It's not a square head nail, which is common, like hand forged nails from the mid to late 1800s, but to find something like another bit of metal moments after finding a button leads me to think that I need to put a lot more patience in here. Maybe bring a rake into the area and start raking it back, especially around the old diggings. You won't be able to tell, but there's another mound right here, so there'll be, I'll walk through to it. So that ground there would have come from, no doubt, a shallow shaft. A shallow digging, should I say. There was a reef higher up this hill. There we go, there's a tree root, but it's fallen over into an old digging, which goes up and around, and the camera's not going to pick up on it, but this area up here looks like it's all mullock as well. So I'll wander around this area. Here's some more over here, bit of higher ground. Yeah, sweet. Third time lucky. There's the hole I got the button out of. There's the hole I got the nail out of. I might as well dig this one live. That's not gold. It's screaming its head off. It's definitely not gold. But we will dig and see what we have. Big bit of quartz. Wouldn't it be a shame if that was full of gold? Yeah. Like I thought, not what I was getting the signal off. You can see rust here. Actually, that's what it is. I can't even tell you what it is. Anyway, other prospectors would have taken that out in the past. So I'm leaning to think that they've either thrown stuff over this way or this hasn't been gone over. So I might actually find gold if I persevere. Man, I was getting excited. There's those 1, 2, 3 holes there. There's another hole over there I dug and didn't record. Then I got a really strong signal here that wasn't half as noisy. Started digging it, pulled out this very, very heavy little chunk of what I assumed was lead, but I was hoping it was gold. But, oh, when the camera focuses, it's lead. Anyway, this area hasn't been done over, or at least hasn't been done over for a long time. Same area, just a couple of meters across. Again, it was blatantly obvious that that wasn't going to be gold from the way it was ringing up, but I'm just curious about what's hiding in the earth here. I'm going to rebury that one for somebody else to find. So I've come out into a clearer spot now, and you can see what I'm on about with the shallow gold workings. This whole area here is scalloped out, so I'm looking through the mullock over the top of that, right under my feet through here. It's a bit clearer of an area, and I did notice that right here, this little bit of fresh looking ground, somebody else has had a bit of a scratch around there in recent times. But these like shallow workings are riddled through the whole area. So I've spent a fair bit of time running the detector up and down the walls and through the gully of these old workings here. Same as up through here and up around the corner. I went downstream a little bit, or down towards the creek a little bit, but it's very overgrown in there. No luck so far, just heaps and heaps and heaps of old bits of iron and the likes. So, I don't know. Usually go to an area that's had a lot of detecting done and a lot of that stuff's removed. If I had more energy about me, I may have moved some rocks around and gone looking around under them. So I've come up the hill, followed the gully through about 100, 150 metres. Not as far as what I thought I'd have to go. Come across. Yeah. I don't think that's a shaft, but it's full of water, so let's not fall in there, but directly in front of me. So this would be that reef working that I was looking for. I can straight up tell that other prospectors have been here. Just a little bit of evidence where the mullock's been disturbed. So if I'm not going to find anything, I hope they did. There's more just up the hill a little bit further, so I'll take you for a walk up there. So there's the workings I was just at. I was just standing on top of the mullock on the other side there. Come up ever so slightly further. Watch your step. There's a small digging there. What that was for, I don't know. It could actually, I'm thinking that working and this working are actually linked together, because there was hints of maybe a collapsed tunnel in the other one. So don't want to fall down anything. So definitely being mindful of where I'm standing. I'm not too sure, but there could actually be a third bit just a little bit further up. Even though I'm confident it's been detected like nothing else, I'm going to have to run the detector over this just to see if I can have my little bit of luck. So far, the only gold I found is those specks that I found in the creek, which tells me I need to come back and work the creek. How cool is that little rock wall? Just drove out of the track, no issues whatsoever, and I get to the top of the hill and the sun's out. So anyway, in behind the car and down through the gully, there's well, allegedly there's some shallow reef workings. So I want to go and run the detector over that while I've still got a little bit of daylight. So the car's up over here. I've walked around the outside. I've been coming down the gully. I didn't think I would have my bearings right. Actually, I thought I'd miss this one, but I can see it. I can see some kind of workings just up ahead. Wow, that's cool. I didn't expect this in the slightest. So that's the second open cut that I was looking at a moment ago, and the first one's directly up above it. These are the mullock heaps. They're actually in two different levels. So one mullock heap across here, another mullock heap right here. So I'll go over them with the metal detector and see if I can find anything. Not liking my chances, but it looks like I'm the only person who's been here in a while. But I'm going down a little bit further, because there could be more. Not that my legs really want me to go much further. I stumbled across an old reef working. They've just floated along by the looks of it, and I wouldn't at all be surprised if the whole way along, you can see up here all the mullock, they would have more than likely been interconnected in one way or another through little drives. I don't know how far up it goes. Sorry for the bad camera work. Okay, it's not very large, that bit that I was at to begin with. It looks like it's the biggest bit. Still a lot of mullock, so I'm not convinced that they haven't collapsed. I don't really want to go standing on something that's going to give way. Oh yeah, okay. I'll hold the camera over there, but I'm not putting myself over there. Yep, I can see a drive down the bottom, so they were all connected. No dead kangaroos or anything like that, like people were asking about in one of my previous videos. Oh, that's unreal. So this is the exact same reef working that I was just filming, just facing back the other way. You can actually see stulls in there. Bits of timber pushed up against the wall to keep it all stable. I was just following that reef, those reef workings along up there, and I looked down and a mullock heap caught my interest. And I found an adit, which I assume would service that reef working up a little bit higher. Full of water. Because I didn't expect to find anything like this, I didn't bring my torch. It's sitting in the car. Awesome. I expect it probably dries up in summer, but without any way to check what the air quality's like, I'm not going in.